As the Lowcountry community continues to expand exponentially, connecting its farthest reaches through state-of-the-art rapid transit is clearly a top priority. Here to share the latest on the Lowcountry Rapid Transit Project is Mike Seekings, Board of Directors Chairman of the Charleston Area Regional Transportation Authority, or CARTA. Much easier to say. Good to see you again.
It's good to see you, Layla. It's been a minute, so I'm glad to be here to talk about all things regional transportation.
Indeed, and it would seem like we started talking about this ages ago.
You and I have been talking about this for a long time, back to our days when you were on the bus rodeo, driving the bus around and doing a very good job of it.
Yeah, thank you. Doing a good job of busting up all the barrels. But catch us up on what's taken place thus far, where we are in the process.
So Lowcountry Rapid Transit is coming to this region. We're in the design phase now. We're going to get to 60% design in short order this year. Yeah. And during the course of designing not just the mobility part of this, we also want to think about what that corridor looks like in terms of zoning policies, growth policies, development policies, and importantly, housing accessibility policies. So we've just gotten a grant, a third in a series of grants, to look at that corridor as we build out the transit part to make sure that we've got policies and zoning in place that we can have access to attainable housing, live, work, play, and make sure that the entire package really fits a community that's growing.
Can you define attainable housing? What does that mean?
Well, I'm not sure that there's a formula for that, but what I can tell you is, in my mind's eye, we want to make sure we build a transit system that people use and can live nearby that work in our area. Whether you work at the hospital district, you're a college at Charleston, you work at wherever you might work in the hospitality industry. So it's housing for people that work in the region that can live close by to convenient, accessible transportation. And that's something we really have never had. And so we're going to look at it very closely on the front end to make sure we succeed on the back end.
So what is the end year when things are going to be, ribbons are going to be cut and it's going to be running?
Remember, we've got a 21.3 mile corridor.
Yes.
We're going from really 0 to 21.3 quickly. Yeah. We'll be done with the engineering portion of this by 2026, and then we'll get into construction and should be cutting the ribbon and opening it. And we're going to open at one time the entire length of Lowcountry Rapid Transit in 2029. Seems like a long time down the road, but we're moving along pretty quickly at this point. This is the first ever large-scale transit project. It will be successful, and it will give people a chance to succeed and use transit in their everyday life. Build that into our DNA.
And the current existing CARTA, I know that you've updated fleets and you've changed things. What are we going to see technologically speaking with this new
Well, what
project?
You'll see when we get Lowcountry Rapid Transit up and running, and what the actual equipment looks like on there will really be driven by the technology at the time in 2029. But it'll
things could change between now and then.
Likely be battery electric, and then we will weave in the rest of our system to connect with and make it convenient for connections. We have gone through and replaced our buses at a fairly rapid rate. We've got tons of battery electric buses now, wave of the future. So we are making sure we keep up with technology today. So as Lowcountry Rapid Transit opens up in 2029, we'll be very familiar with it, very nimble with it, and able to use it.
Yeah, and so everybody realizes this is all above ground. We're not going to have subways just yet.
No, but it'll look, people say, is it light rail? It'll look like it. It'll be at grade. It'll actually be rubberized, which is a little more flexible for us. Those are the projects you see really around the country and around the world today. So, but it'll be a little different than your typical bus system, I can tell you. It'll look different. It'll operate differently. It will be convenient. It will be much more rapid. And that's what we have to do. People are going to use it if it's a better alternative for them.
Incredible. Well, Chairman Seekings, thank you so much. I'm so looking forward to seeing what develops along the route as well, and just how the whole geography is going to change.
It's going to change, and it's going to be for the better, and it's going to be much more accessible for people.
Can't wait.
Thank you so much.
It's good to see you again.
My pleasure.
We're back in 2 minutes.